Hello dear viewer, today a very special review. It's Peeping Tom on 4K Blu-ray from Studio Canal. I have been waiting so long for this film to get a new release. I had the old Blu-ray from many years ago, and that old disc struggled in a few areas. So I was so excited when this got an announcement, and here it is. But is this new disc worth you spending your money on? Well, I'm going to give you my thoughts in this video. First of all, what is Peeping Tom? Well, it's a British film from 1960, directed by Michael Powell. He made a number of absolute classic films in collaboration with Emmerich Pressburger, you know, The Red Shoes, Life and Death of Colonel Blimp, Black Narcissus, etc. Those are some of my favourite films of all time. Here he was, though, making his first film without Pressburger since his career began in the 1930s. And while all those older films are quite magical, a bit dreamlike, very fantasy-like, this film is like a nightmare. This is something totally on a darker level than his previous filmography. In the story, we follow this serial killer who goes around killing young women while he is recording it on his camera so that he can watch it back. And as he's killing these victims, he likes to show themselves being murdered in real time. So this lends Peeping Tom very much to film analysis. There's so much you can delve into here in terms of the kind of meta-narrative nature of voyeurism in this film and how Michael Powell, through his filmmaking techniques, implicates us, the audience, in these murders. And to create this off-kilter, upsetting atmosphere, the film is so vividly colourful, some would say grotesquely colourful, garish, and it very much adds to the film that this story is a nightmare. There's also so many references to Powell's own career within this film. We see Moira Shearer from The Red Shoes as one of the victims in the film. The film was one of the very first to get an X-rated certification because of the nature of the content within the film. And coincidentally, this released in 1960, the same year as Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, a film that had a very similar reputation to this film, and both films very much look at voyeurism and its place in cinema. If you've never seen this film, it's very thrilling, entertaining, and a very important film in British film history. So I strongly recommend you check it out. But what is the 4K disc like, and is this the version to get? So this is from a recent 4K restoration, and my first impressions with this disc are very positive. I thought the film looked better than it ever has. You can see so much more detail in this film, which for a film that is sometimes shot quite softly, you know, with a bit of a soft focus, there was really so much more detail in the faces, the costumes, everything. You could really see so much more than you could see in previous editions, including Studio Canal's older Optimum Blu-ray. Some parts of the film look slightly worse than others because of the effects that have been used to kind of composite some of the camera filming effects. For the most part, the film looks beautiful in its kind of nightmarish thrills. I mentioned before about the vividly garish colours in the film, and these are really aided by the new HDR and Dolby Vision grades. The colours are so deep and vivid, and the added range here is just stunning. It really is, and you can see absolutely everything in the image. There were no horrible digital artifacts to my eyes. So I'm so pleased to not really have any issues with this presentation at all. The audio, not much to say here, it's just a mono track. Sounded great to me, you know, sounded like how I would imagine this film should sound. Beyond the film itself, there are so many great new special features on here. There's a conversation with Sir Christopher Frayling, which is very informative. There's one on the history, looking back at the legacy of Peeping Tom, and there's another feature on restoring Peeping Tom for this release. Along with those, there are some older special features. There's an introduction by Martin Scorsese, one by Thelma Schoonmaker, and there is an audio commentary with Ian Christie. So many great special features to round out this whole package. If I just take this slip cover off, inside you do get a booklet. The booklet is about 30 pages long and was a great read after watching the film. This Studio Canal disc is simultaneously getting a release in France, Germany and the United Kingdom, and the disc is exactly the same because when you load this up you actually get to choose which region you're loading up. And there is a French audio track along with French subtitles and the same with a German audio track and German subtitles. There is currently no US release announced for Peeping Tom on 4K, so I would say if you really want to get this, definitely look at importing it from the UK, France or Germany. I will include some purchasing links down in the description of this video, so if you want to get it, you can do with those links, and it helps support the channel at no additional cost to you. So in conclusion, a fantastic disc from Studio Canal. If anyone from the Studio Canal team is watching, you should be very pleased with the work that you've done on this release, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. Why don't you stick around on the channel and watch my recent Blu-ray hunting video where I go into HMV and Kex to find some new Blu-rays. I had so much fun making it, and it seems like a lot of people are enjoying it so far. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon.